Bad precedents or the law is a law, constitution in action?
First of all of these allegations and figures which are being bandied around, there's no way of authenticating them. Because as prescribed by the Constitution, the proceedings were in camera. The petition was not supposed to be made public. The hearings were not supposed to be made public, and so on. So all of these figures, allegations, and so on, how am I supposed to authenticate them? You understand? If we are following the Constitution, the letter of the Constitution, there's no way of authenticating these things which are being bandied about and so on, both for and against. For me, they are interesting things. One, Justice Gabriel Forman has said publicly that they considered 10,000 pages of evidence before coming to this conclusion. I mean, he's talking about 10,000 pages of evidence. I mean, that's not small. That's huge. According to the Committee of Inquiry, the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice, had 4 lawyers. The petitioner had 4 lawyers. So there were 8 lawyers involved in this process. That's very interesting. On the committee itself sat 2 Supreme Court judges on the committee itself. And those 2 Supreme Court judges, really, by assumption, should know the law as well as all those who are commenting on the matter. They're Supreme Court judges. That's the apex court in this country. 2 of them sat on this committee of inquiry. Now, from what we have been told, Justice Tokonu called 12 witnesses, including expert witnesses. The petitioner called 13 witnesses, including expert witnesses. That's not a matter to be taken lightly. You understand? The committee itself, in addition to having 2 Supreme Court judges on it, also had a former Auditor General on it. This is not a matter to be taken so lightly as it's being played around with and so on. Then, for me, the most important thing is that President Mahama has made no decision in this matter. He's made no decision whatsoever. In fact, the Constitution says, and this is Article 14610. So, where is this place? I'll find it. Yes, Article 146(9). It says, the President shall in each case act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. So the President is not given any leeway at all. The Constitution says that whatever the committee decides, the President must implement. So on the basis of this Constitution, the President is not a decision maker. He's an implementer of decisions. It's clear in this Constitution. So you cannot make the claim that the President decided to sack the Chief Justice. Once the committee said that the Chief Justice has misconducted herself and had to go, the President can only let her go. The President cannot disagree with the committee. That is the position. You understand? Now, yesterday, I listened to Mr. Nana Akumia, and he made a very interesting submission in which he said that, look, as far as he's concerned, the dismissal of the Chief Justice is lawful. It's in accordance with the law and the provisions of the Constitution. His problem is that the drafters of the Constitution did not give us a good Constitution. Wow, that's an interesting submission. Now, on 7th of January, 2025, President John Mahama took the oath of office, which was administered by the same Chief Justice. What was contained in that oath of office? What was contained in that oath of office was that he would defend this constitution.
Uphold and defend.
Uphold and defend this constitution. That oath was administered by the Chief Justice who had been dismissed. And he promised, he swore on the Bible that he would uphold and defend this constitution. What is doing now? Is it different from what is contained in his presidential oath? Is he not upholding and defending the constitution? In fact, are we expecting him to violate the constitution? Why? We are the same people who insist on the rule of law, don't we? All of a sudden, the rule of law doesn't mean anything anymore. I don't understand what is being said. Besides, if you read what is attributed to the former Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Sophia Akufu, what she's saying is that the gravity of the offense, she's not saying that nothing wrong happened, but she's saying that what happened is not severe enough to warrant the removal of children. But something happened. As for severity, you and I can disagree. We can disagree on threshold or something. If you're saying that nothing happened, she did nothing wrong, and so on, fine. But in any case, her views, even when she sat as Chief Justice, there were cases in which other panel members, other Supreme Court judges disagreed with her on a panel that she presided over. Sure. So, what is the value of her view? The value of her view is the value of a former Chief Justice's view on a matter, constitutional matter. You understand? That's all there is, nothing more. In fact, the Constitution says that she is not the one who determines who must be removed or who must stay. The Constitution says that that determination is made by a 5-member committee, 3 of whom should not be lawyers, should not be members of parliament, and so on. They make the determination, not former Chief Justices. And the determination has been made. Pardon? Master, pardon?
The former emphasis on who makes the decision.
Did the Constitution say that former Chief Justice?
No, I can't see that in Article 146.
You
I
can't
cannot
see
see
that.
that.
So you agree with me?
Not Article 146.
So you agree with me?
So. No, I can't. I say I can't see that.
Thank you.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with you.
But if the Constitution doesn't say that former Chief Justices should make that determination, and I say that, how can you disagree with me?
Oh, that necessarily, I don't.
Okay. So, Master, this matter is so straightforward. So straightforward, I don't see why we are. If we don't like what is in the Constitution, let us amend the Constitution. Because we expect every president, every and any president, to uphold this Constitution.
Okay.
You understand? And besides, at least there's a precedent. Or there are precedents. We removed the chairperson of the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, not so. We removed Charlotte Osei, and so on, not so. What procedures were used? Same procedures. So why are we complaining? Master, let's move on and discuss something.
Oh.
Do you agree with Anakomia? Nothing. There was no breach of the Constitution. You said that the Constitution is inadequate.
I don't think essentially that's what Nana Akomia sought to say.
Okay.
But I agree with the minority stance that yesterday was a sad day, and September 1 going forward should be a day that we should commemorate. You see, in the rule of law, the fundamental value, independence and impartiality of the judiciary. Yesterday in Akutia, I saw Sofo Azoka shove his hand into the face of Chairman Masaud. It wasn't a case of muscles. It wasn't a case of muscles, but Chairman Masood should have some respect. He has to have something he can lean on to protect him. And that is what we sought to do in the rule of law. Who else? There are three arms of government. For me, having had the privilege of being in Parliament, it scares me that the head of one arm of government is able to sack. I think that was it. To sack or dismiss the head of another arm. You see? Oh no, I have one here. And I've read thoroughly this. You see, since yesterday, I have seen.
What was that for? You're giving.
No, he was telling me. He was giving me the Constitution.
What was that for?
He wanted me to read what
you're showing him the Constitution.
Article 146. I have read it.
It's important for him to make reference to.
I have read it.
Okay.
And you see,
the powers exercised by the president are conferred on him by the Constitution.
All right.
that is not in dispute.
He wants you to have a look.
Unfortunate.
That is not in dispute.
It is the Constitution which is unfortunate, not the president or his actions.
You see, there are two key stages for me in this whole process, right? The determination of a prima facie case and the predetermined decision of the committee. These are points probably of no return. Once you get there, no return. Look, to borrow the words of Honorable Hassan Tampuli, he had said on another platform that, look, the pronouncements that the NDC made in opposition, look, if they found Justice Tokonu buying cocoa on the street, they will find a way to rope that act and find a reason to dismiss her. They have told us. And so for us and for some of us, this is a political decision. It is a political decision. And it scares me that what the values that holds our rule of law is being tempered with. For me, that's how I see it. Why do I say so? I say so because, look, with the three arms of government, there are checks and balances. And I shudder to think that the framers of the Constitution had this in mind. It is also instructive to note that the just immediate past Chief Justice is saying that, look, there might have been some anomalies then, right? But does the threshold meet the taking of such a decision? That is what we should ask ourselves. Look, in this whole process, we've heard the Ghana Bar Association, we've heard the Commonwealth Association of Lawyers. I've seen people dismiss all of what they said. But you see, importantly for me, is the fundamental values that we are toying with. How will the judges feel this time if an opposition person like myself goes to court with a case, the judge knowing that he is at the mercy of the executive? Human as we are.
Why would the judge feel that he's at the mercy of the
because
executive?
we have seen it.
How?
We have seen it. We have seen what that. Look, nobody can convince me. Nobody can convince. And given the issues that came up in this petition, as to the alleged misappropriation of public funds, the posting of a judicial service staff, and what's the third one? The third one is
No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a third one. There's a third one. I mean, interference in appointment of judges.
Yes.
I mean, as to whether they get the threshold is something that, you see, instructively, somebody just sent me an article on the 8th of September,
Who determines the threshold? That threshold you're talking about, who determines it?
That's why, I'm sure that's why the committee was set up. And so the committee had, irrespective of the number of pages they reviewed, irrespective of the judge, the witnesses that were called, irrespective of number of lawyers that represented both the petitioner and the respondent, there's a decision. And I've said that there are two crucial stages. The determination of the prima facie, which the president, in consultation of the Council of Staff, did. At the time, they took a decision and went ahead to form a committee. And like you're saying, I mean, per the constitutional provisions, whatever decision that the committee arrives, the president will have to implement it, like we all understand, right? But you see, on the 8th of September 2018, in the Charlotte Osai matter, Mr. Kwesi Pratt here had said, it's reported on Ghana news pages that President Akufo-Addo should have applied home sense. I tried sending you the article. I tried sending you the article.
Hold on.
You see, that is why I went on to determine where the president, right, could have. And there's an element of discretion in there.
Massa, hold on.
When President Akufo-Addo was in office and a petition was brought, he reviewed it and found no basis and he dismissed it summarily. So he didn't even go ahead to form, in consultation with the Council of State.
Yeah, but that was his view.
That was his view.
Yes, that was his
view.
That
was his view.
And he's entitled to.
You see,
I'll be fair to you.
No, I'm sure you get an opportunity.
Because you don't explain the basis for what you said.
I have the article. Mr. Kwesi Pratt here said that Nana Akufo-Addo should have applied home sense.
Yes. No, he would explain
that. And that is why it's also instructive that the immediate past Chief of Staff, Chief Justice, is saying that there might have been anomalies. The inclusion of the former auditor,
Domelevo,
when he was in office, he would go to Public Accounts Committee. When there were infractions on public funds and all of that, people were given the opportunity to refund. So what's in this case? Is it the intention? Is it the political decision that the party, the National Democratic Congress, had taken already that overshadowed whatever leeway, whatever discretion they could have exercised? It was a predetermined thing.
Okay.
And like I said, look, Justice Tokono could have been fired for buying cocoa on the street because it is already set up. It is already predetermined that when we come to office, this is an action we are going to take.
All right.
And you can always find ways to do it. Look,
okay.
The transfer or relocation of judicial staff, it happens in our administration. Look, not too long ago, I was on a platform where we were discussing similar things for even Cocoa Board.
Okay.
For Cocoa Board, we're discussing similar things.
Okay.
It happened a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I dare everyone listening to us this morning, with the mismanagement of public funds, let's put the head of our legislature and the head of executive to the same litmus test. Let us put them to the same litmus test and see what will happen in
Let me give the 2 minutes left to Mr. Kwesi Pratt.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First of all, nobody is preventing you from putting the head of the legislature and the executive to any litmus test. If you have evidence, put it.
Okay.
Don't come and sit down and say, if you put them to litmus test, they will fail. Put them to litmus test and let's see whether they are going to fail or not.
Okay.
Now, since yesterday, I've noticed all of you NPP communicators are going around with this thing from Peace FM online.
Yes.
That I had said.
That's from Ghana
Web. Ghana may have picked it from Peace FM online. That's fine. Whichever way.
It's Peace FM online.
It's the same.
All of you.
That's fine.
Is it by accident that all of the NPP communicators are going around with this thing in their pocket? Hold on.
You're not telling us that you didn't say that.
Hold on. Please hold on.
Yes, sir.
All of you are going around with this thing in your pocket. And you think that justifies your claim.
Okay.
If you have a fight with the Constitution, come and prove that what the Constitution says is not what has been done, not what I said.
Okay.
Even if I said that, how does that justify the position that you have taken? Am I God?
All right.
Now you want to hold on.
Our insistence is that under Nana Akufo-Addo, you had a stance.
So let's say
claiming that he should have applied home sense. This time you are not talking about home sense. You're looking at the mechanics in the Constitution, forgetting that the Constitution is about letter and spirit.
You're stealing his 2 minutes.
Sorry.
Let us assume that I'm a hypocrite.
Okay.
Let us assume that what I said is not consistent with what I'm saying today.
Okay.
Is that the justification for the position we have taken? So if you prove that I'm a hypocrite, what have you proven? That the Constitution does not allow the president to implement the decisions of a committee.
All right.
What is this?
I get it.
In any case,
time is up.
If you are to go to social media and pick things and put it on people, Master, you will all be running out of
you're not telling us that you didn't say that or you didn't hold that position at the time.
That word, home sense.
Yes.
I would never use that expression.
Okay.
It's an inverted, it was reported in inverted comments. So probably you are not spoken in English. I don't know. You are not telling us that you didn't say that. You are not telling us that you didn't say that.
All right.
So what does inverted comments mean?
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, if you say...
Forget it. So thank you very much for your time. Issah Fuseini, former MP for Kaikwe North, and also Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr., a journalist and a statesman. My name is Audu Moro. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.